So, past couple weeks we've been working on closed guard, open guard. Now we're going to start working in the half guard. So, first series we're going to work on is just our dogfight series. As far as someone gets to your half guard, how do you get up, take top position from a couple different ways. A couple key points for starting in half guard. Obviously, the basics of the position: one leg in between their legs, one leg in front of you, right? Now, couple of things. One, we are never flat on our back. Our hips and our shoulders are never both touching the mat at the same time. If you ever do this, you're just wrong. There's never a time, a place, or a motion where I'm like, hey, lay flat on your back. Whenever you're in half guard, I want to be on my hip, on my ribs, here. A couple other things you want to be doing. This leg is to manage distance. So I'm generally going to keep my feet kind of praying, hand style. I don't really cross my ankles or sit in that like locked down half guard here. I just keep my feet prayed and keep my knee right on his belly button. Not a traditional shin shield, not a traditional ab, just kind of that middle point. And I'm using that because I can pull my knees in, I can push my knees away. That's what's managing my distance here, right? Hands, all I'm trying to do with my hands is keep him from controlling my head. Austin, if he's good at jiu-jitsu, is going to be trying to come in here, scoop my head, and do unfriendly things to me, right? So when I'm here, I'm using my hands to fight, control positions, and set up the moves I'm working, right? Now, like I said, the first series we're going to work on is just that simple dogfight pass. I'm here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little bit of space here so that I can kick this knee through and use that momentum to sit myself up. So we're in here, I'm hand fighting, I'm moving, boom, I kick myself up. This hand, I'm looking for low on the back. I want to control this hip. If there's pajamas, you can reach across and grab pajamas. I just like to get a good handful of that hip. My head, I want to connect my unicorn horn right where under Austin's ear, right under his jawline here. My backhand, I'm using as a post to keep myself up. So that way if Austin tries to put his weight on me, I have a good base here. Now, with my back foot, this one here, I'm going to scoop his ankle and drag it out. That's going to allow me to push into him and come onto both of my knees here. Now, once we get here, we're going to go over a variety of options, but I want to break this section down first, then work on kind of the next couple sweeps and setups we're going to do from here. So I'm here, I'm in that half guard, me and Austin are hand fighting, boom. I kick this leg forward, Newton's I don't know which law, equal and opposite reaction, that one allows me to set up. That hand replaces and reaches for that underhook. This hand posts to the mat. I get good head position. Realize if your head position sucks here, just let them choke you. That's all you're asking. My head's down, anything like that. All I'm just trying to do is reach over and choke me because I want him to. Head up, chest up. I'm using that head position to counter that. My outside leg scoops his ankle, drags it out. That allows me to unhook my bottom leg for my half guard and allows me to come up into this dogfight position is what you'll hear. All the way down. Wrestlers have different names for it, but that's what it is in jiu-jitsu. Like I said, we're going to go over a few options from here. But questions on getting to this position here? Nothing? We're up. 1, 2, 3. So, once again, we're here. We're in the half guard. A couple things I noticed just from watching this here. One, when I kick myself up here, instantly I'm looking for that head position. A lot of us were kind of coming up and settling in 17 other things. As soon as I have this underhook, I want my head position. This hand, and my head have to kind of be athletically coordinated enough to get there, right? So once I get there, boom, when I drag this leg out and I come up to my knees, two things I noticed. One, I want to keep this leg in between my legs, right? So I'm keeping it pinched. I'm not sitting real wide-legged so that he can just kick his foot out. I still want to keep this pinched. The other thing I don't want to do is just hang my head real low down here. I know there's a couple of us who were just real comfortable here, where we were like either just being lazy or just not keeping our head up here. So once we're here, there's going to be a variety of reactions to this, right? Whether they're a wrestler or a jiu-jitsu guy, they're all going to have a different reaction. Simplest option though, our backhand is going to go from hip and it's going to hunt for an ankle in an ideal world. Now, it may not always find the bottom ankle, but I'm always at least looking for it. My hand that's here is going to pick that knee. I'm going to look to collapse his knee as I drive over it. So the difference is I'm not looking to pull his leg in, I'm looking to drive over the top of it while I block its motion here. A lot of us, when we drill this out, we're here, and a lot of you guys try to like drag this leg in. Realize the second Austin puts any weight on that, it becomes really hard to drag in. So I have to drive over it to get that finish. Now, once we're here, I'm going to keep the legs collected. I like to keep this ankle as much as possible. Here, I'm going to walk in front towards the head. Finish very similar to our passes from last week, right? I can use that head pressure if I need to, if not, just walking through. So I'm here with Mr. Steers. Boom, I kick myself up, I come here. Drag that ankle out, I come up, right? Here, I push in, here. I sprawl, walk that hip through, looking to pass. Once your hips and knees are past his legs, you can let go of the ankle. There's very minimal to be gained past that point of holding on to that. But the goal is drive across, flatten his hips, control the legs, walk past. Questions on that?
So you grabbed his heel outside the leg. Is that a choice or right or wrong?
So, just make sure I'm hearing you right. Austin's got his leg in between my legs. Boom, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing right here on the back of that ankle.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. I'm always looking to cup that ankle as much as possible.
Well, like I've seen people do it from the inside. Is that
Like try to scoop it?
like in front of his right leg but underneath his left leg?
Like they're reaching here. I would not do that in my wildest dream. My hand's already here. All it's got to do is shoot and find that ankle. I'm adding an extra and very unnecessary step if I try to go inside here. It's just not a natural motion. So once I'm here, Austin's going to react. Most people are going to widen their base and put a little shoulder pressure in here, which is why that works.
Already fought that kid.
That's what we're looking for. So yeah, I'm not going to reach inside and do a weird sweep there. Just drop that ankle, reset, and drive through. Other questions?
If you're driving too, it's okay to pull.
Yeah, you still want to pull a little bit. What I don't want to see is we have a tendency when we've drilled this in the past to just try to drag the leg into us and collapse the hips that way. I'm still pulling as much as I can there, but the goal is to drive him over first. Does that make sense? Other questions?
Do you care which way we pass? Towards the back or past the legs?
Not particularly. If you have a reason for going backside, I'm not mad at you for that. Have purpose. You can pass either way. It's preference for me to pass head side. But the only reason being, because if you pass backside and they go all fours, you don't score. You won't score sweep or pass pass. So you're rolling the dice on 7 points. So if you want to do that, feel free. You're welcome to. I don't. That's why I pass it. It's very hard to get to your knees when I'm in front of you there. Or 6 points. 3 points. Alright, so they're out. 1, 2, 3. Here, I get to my half guard. Good things are happening. I sit up. I get here, right? Everything that I want to happen is happening right here. But Austin's a big, strong kid, right? He weightlifts occasionally, you know. And so he's going to try to just put his shoulder through the mat. Right? He's going to try to whizzer down real hard here. And makes driving across for that leg really difficult. But it makes doing the high on limp arm really simple. So all we're going to do, this arm here, he starts really torquing that pressure. I'm going to lean into him a little bit to get him to really put that pressure down. as I go back, all I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my hand down, out, and around. I'm going to wave I'm up to the ground. Now, I'm over-exaggerating that motion for emphasis. But the arc of your arm goes down, out, and around. As soon as it comes out, you look to slide up the back and start backpack drilling here. So as soon as it comes out, boom, you grab the back, start working for that. But the goal of this is once you get into that dogfight, if they start fighting that at the shoulder pressure hard, why work hard? Why fight through all that shoulder pressure when we can just go around? You just gotta be smarter than them, Carson. I'm already better looking. I might as well be smarter than them too. So I'm here. Listen. I come up. Austin puts all that pressure down, right? I don't like it. I don't like it. I push in, push, pull. Once you're here, then start working for the back. Start working to break them down. Do what you need to do from here. Like I said, everything up to that point, all the same. The only difference is you go limp in the arm. You know, you get a little Gumby arm going. Bring it out and around. Questions on that? Driller. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's all. Pull a strong guy like that. Work.
Alright, so we're here. I get to my half guard, I sit up, I come up here, and let's say for whatever reason, we're just not comfortable with that limp arm, right? It's tough, it just doesn't work our way. All we're going to do is we're going to hit what's called a broomstick here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to step back hard here, and I'm going to look to slide this hand towards his ankle. Here, and pull that out. Once we're here, you sprawl, walk behind. Now, realize that this underhook is going to be in a little bit of danger because he's going to be trying to probably turn that way. All you have to do is sit him back. But the basics of it, we're here. Austin's legs in between my leg here. Boom. I'm sitting here, and a lot of people are going to start putting that pressure down real hard. So if I drive into him, Austin's got a great base that way. But if I'm here, all I'm going to do is walk behind him. Don't fight people head on where they're strong. Realize that's like 90% of jiu-jitsu's philosophy is. I'm not going to fight you where you're strong. I'm going to break you down and fight you where you're weak.
Can I see that?
Yes, sir.
I want to see the detail on it.
So we're here, boom, I sit up, I drag that ankle out. I still have this knee tight. Austin's gonna put that shoulder pressure in, I don't like it. I'm going to step back. That's gonna relieve a lot of that pressure. This hand reaches in, grabbing the back of that ankle here. I'm driving into him here and scooping that ankle out. Two things that's doing. One, putting a lot of pressure on the outside of Austin's knee. Just an unanticipated, a bonus consequence for him of not wanting to do what I say. I also can get that ankle out here. Boom. I'm going to sprawl, walk behind, start working for a backpack, start working for side control, leg drag if you prefer. But all we're doing is I'm taking that pressure and dragging that knee back.
So you keep your feet together.
Yes, my feet.
So you're not pulling your bottom leg out on that one. You're keeping your feet together, pulling it, stretching it out.
Until he's all the way flat on his hip, I keep those legs together.
Same little style.
Yes, because what I'm looking for here is to change the direction of his base. He's got a great base this way, right? Left to right. But if I take this leg and I go like this, that base goes away. You've now lost everything. If I just drive into you, now I have you in this weird, paint me like one of your French girls pose. No one's strong, physically strong. Austin maybe, but that's it. Not you, that one. Just because Austin's strong in weird positions. That's like literally the only person I think that could be strong. So I'm dragging that leg out, killing your base, driving you over where you don't have a base. My outside leg, which is right now my right leg, is hooking that leg a little bit. So if I'm here, right? Boom. I'm keeping that ankle trapped. I'll even pinch that knee over his knee that little bit. That way I can drop that back and sit him to that hip. Even if I don't do anything with the bottom leg, I still killed his hip pressure here. Boom, I sprawl, walk behind, attack. Yeah, I'm using that to drive myself back. Remember the Jacare walks?
Yeah.
Almost Jacare walking backwards is kind of the pressure I would think. Because I'm using that backwards motion and dragging that leg out. Because an athletic guy, if I try to drive him across there, and a half decent wrestler is going to read that limp arm coming, right? Like that's not. So boom, I go to push into him, I feel that base, boom, I can drag it out from underneath. It's just another option. And I can chain that together. So if I'm here with Austin here, he starts really driving that shoulder pressure in. I push into him, it's not working. Can't, okay. Like I can chain those options together to throw him off. I push in like I'm going to drop for that ankle. I limp that arm a little bit. I see it's not going to be there. Boom! I drop my ankle back.
So you'll run your foot back over
Okay.
and recapture that.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Because I like to have my outside knee in this situation in front of his knee that little bit. Because it puts a lot of pressure on his knee. I'm not knee barring him.
Can I see that one more time from this direction?
So if we're here, right? Boom. Let's say I limp arm and it's not working. I'm going to collapse that knee here. So that way when I push back, it drags that leg with me. That's what allows me to put that hip.
But you'll go back to that even after you've gone out. You go, oh, he's got a really strong.
Because he's got a good base, right?
His base is too hard.
Right.
You'll go back in, back.
Like if Austin widens this base out just a little more, right? I drive in, it's not there.
Okay,
I will use that to drag that. That's helping that knee pressure
that makes sense.
and stopping him from that wrestler kick out too. So that's what I'm stopping him from doing as well with that knee pitched over. So I'm using that to drag his base out, clear the leg. Drill it out. 1, 2, 3. So I'm here, right? I get here, I sit up, boom, I drag the ankle out, boom, I'm here. And let's say for whatever reason I can't drive across, I can't limp arm, and broomstick just doesn't feel comfortable. So that's the one we're gonna have to drill with, right? Boom. Let's just say I have a real good hook here on his hip. All I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna push into him real hard. Because I want him to drive in and drive that shoulder down a little bit. All we're gonna do is I'm gonna put my head, my inside ear is gonna go right to his belly button here. As I do that, my outside hand is gonna dive for his ankle, ideally knee if you miss it, right? So I'm here, here. As I do that, I'm gonna pull my knees and ankles across, sweep through, sprawl, walk behind like we would. But all we're doing is using that pressure and momentum to roll. So I'm here, I come up, boom, ankle out, boom. Austin's driving into me, I don't appreciate it, right? I try to push into him, he pushes back. All I'm going to do, I'm going to keep that tight hip. There's knee, you can grab it, if not, hook in that hip. I'm going to look to scoop this ankle with this knee. 50-50 shot, you get the ankle. Don't worry about it. If you don't, just shoot for the hip. Here. As I do that, I'm tucking myself into this hole where I'm looking at Carson. And Carson are making weird eye contact. But that's the goal. I should be looking this way to pull him over in here. Once you get him to top, I like to post and keep the split up here.
Well, the important thing on that broomstick when you pull back is the moment you get that broomstick back, you shut straight forward into the hips.
Yes, on the last movements. Questions on this one? Like I said, guys, all you're doing is using that downward shoulder presser. Now, if only we had a move, this is going to seem weird, where you roll. If only we started practice like 7 of those. Variety of direction and motions. If only. Like, I'm not saying we do that for a reason, I'm just saying it works out sometimes. Questions on this roll? Like I said, the goal here, the biggest mistake I see is a lot of people try to barrel roll here. It is a forward roll here. You're coming over that shoulder. So if I'm here with Austin one more time. I'm here. I'm not trying to take him sideways this way. Because that's just going to be a lot of weight where you don't need it. Okay? When I'm here, I'm trying to forward roll here. That's the difference. That'll be the big mistake I watch everyone make.
And you're keeping your feet.
Yeah, I'm keeping that leg
Last two, you
pinched.
keep your feet bent.
Yeah,
Your knees are bent on both of them.
Because I want to control that leg. Yes.
You're not physically grabbing. You're just shooting above his ankle.
I'm scooping it. I'm scooping I'm either scooping the ankle or scooping that knee and thigh. So when I'm here, what I'm looking to do is, if I can, I'm hitting that ankle, right? Not always going to work. So when I'm here, though, I'm looking to keep that.
Not mess it up by trying too hard to catch the ankle.
Yeah, if you miss the ankle, don't panic. Just catch the hip, that part of the thigh. Like, don't panic here. The ankle is bonus, not mission critical. If that makes sense. Like, ideal world that we all don't live in, you get the ankle every time, right? Real world, you get the ankle about 40% of the time.
Or do you pinch your knees and just face out and flatten out?
Yeah, if you lose that leg control, it really starts to throw problems off. Like, let's say I'm here, and for whatever reason, I'm just a loose theory here. It's just, you just start losing shit quickly. All you've done is dove into your own side control. So that's why I keep when I get to that dogfight position, I'm doing those good girl knee pinches until I'm where I want to be in life. Y'all won't forget it. You laugh every time, and none of you will ever forget to keep your knees pinched. So, all right. 1, 2, 3.